Hello, it is a dark episode for March the 20th, 2026, and okay. Uh, Actually, at the moment, my neck is feeling a bit better, but boy, kind of up and down throughout the day. Definitely, again, yeah, constant pain equals less energy than usual, but it seems to be easing off. So I am a lucky one in that case. Uh, what else? I didn't do too much today as a result of that. I've been listening to Ellen Datlow's One for the Money, which is, it's funny listening to something from what I suddenly realized is more than 30 years ago and going, oh, this is more than 30 years ago, even though to me 1995 does not seem like it should be that long ago. It should be just, last 5 minutes because, I was probably in my 20s still, and in 1995. So it couldn't be that long ago, but I'm an old fucker now. So you're kind of going like, oh yeah, this is a book that was written 30 years ago. Very much stuff like with sexual assault kind of attitudes towards women. And this is a female author. It's like, oh yeah, we're kind of using, rape, sexual assault is sort of, yeah, it's just a part of the kind of the gritty texture of the city, and there's a stalking character. That there's also a lot of talk about hoods and things like that. This is from a white author, which probably also wouldn't go over too well today. So it's one of those things of like I was rolling my eyes at another book I was reading, which is a 2025 book, very much a 2025 book where it's a fantasy world where a woman has kidnapped, abducted a guy against his will. But when there's a sex scene, she's careful to get consent, and you kind of roll your eyes at that. But it's like, there's also a thing of like trying to be mindful of stuff like that. And yes, of course, it's a 2025 book, so it has trigger warnings at the beginning of it, which is a good thing. Because like, yeah, there's a lot of triggers like, oh, that wouldn't bother me. But I know like if I'm in a certain mood, stuff that's like heavy on suicide is stuff that will be like, that'll bring up shit from my own past, and maybe I'd like a heads up so I can decide whether I'm up for that in this particular case. So, yeah. It's interesting noting, okay, this is well within my lifetime, but there have been shifts. And I mean, there's always shifts, but sometimes you're just so much immersed in it as like a fish in the water that you don't notice it. And so doing stuff, reading stuff from 30 years ago, I think like 31 years ago, is kind of illuminating that way. It's Ellen Datlow. She's good. I don't know if I'm going to read a heck of a lot of these books. Sophia, what the hell is her name? I can't remember, but I'm probably not going to read a whole ton. I'm maybe just going to read this one. It was just like, okay, it's interesting. I actually picked it up because a character in another book ended up in prison, and he started reading them and he liked them, which actually I think says something good about the guy who read them in prison. So it was a little bit of character depth for a character in a other novel that, hey, he likes books by Ellen Datlow and finds them funny. It's like, okay, that illuminates this character, even if maybe I don't find it as funny. It's amusing. It's lightly amusing. Let's put it that way. It's a way to pass the time kind of book versus too much thought. I think the thought comes from, oh my God, this was 31 years ago, and the fashion, the attitudes, things have changed. That's interesting. All right, I'm going to leave it there. More videos later.